All right, we are recording, and hopefully it's going to stay that way. So, I have added another feature that I'm excited about. It's one step closer to getting playable characters to the point where they can have melee attacks that actually look cool and have their own animations, but we're still in the territory of custom NPCs at this point. What I've gotten is a system where we can actually tell it when to fire off a sub-attack. Now this only works when we're using the main animation, this only works when we're using a special animation. If it's the main animation, it's not going to work. So here's an idea. Okay, for sub-attacks, I will add a sub-attack to the step where it is slamming towards the right. Let's make it a fireball, a bouncing fireball. As you can see, that's the animation. Spawn point X offset, let's go with 0. Let's have it shoot the fireball when it's up here. For Y offset, let's try -50. It'll do. So, fireball should bounce. Fireball aim, yeah, we do want it to be absolute. Let's make it X vector 9, Y vector, let's make it 0. Color is orange, damage amount 1, elemental effect, let's make it earth. Now, when we go to the frame by frame wizard here, you'll notice that there is now a little crosshairs here. This shows where a fireball would be launched from. And let's see, the fireball damage does earth damage. This is the frame we want it at. So move sub-attack to this frame. This is finally implemented. And of course it doesn't repaint properly. You get to see where these things launch from. When it's at the apex, it will launch a fireball to the right. And if you open the editor at this point, it will launch the fireball right when it's at the apex. So the fireball wizard itself will reflect that. It'll do that for any type of sub-attack. It'll do it for fireball, thunder ray, geocryst, bubble blast, and photon orb. Any one of those. And, you know, the orb shot, I'll just leave that as is for now. And let me just do the same for right facing. This time I think I'll make it something a little bit different though. Swing to the left. Let's make it a spread of geocrysts. Let's see. Spawn point X offset 0, -50 for the Y. Let's see. Make it -8 and 0. Again, we want earth damage. And for a pre-existing set, I think that, yeah, we've got orange-brown here. Alright. We'll just do a couple more of those. Geocryst. Orange and brown. -50, 0, targeting vector, let's go with -6 and -2, so this one goes up. Again, we want earth damage, add sub-attack, geocryst, orange, 0, -50. Let's make this 2 and -6. Earth damage, absolute. Click OK. Now we go to frame by frame details. By default, and as you can see, the crosshairs for this is a bit different from the crosshairs for Fireball. Different types of attacks will have different symbols here. So we want it to be number 2 here. We'll just move all of these here. Alright, we are good. Oh, and by the by, you have the ability to move these around if you feel the need to do so. So that just moved one of these up. I can just move one of these to the right. You have the ability to do this in this screen if you feel the need. So click OK. And I'll save this, and we will be able to see what that is like in the actual game. Alright, we are recording again. And in retrospect, I should probably pause this until we actually get that far, but oh well. I'll just keep going with this. Just for the heck of it. To take advantage of this new system where you can have different projectiles launch at different times during an animation, boy, you really got to dodge this stuff. Oh well, it's in the shoot 'em up genre. I shouldn't be that surprised. I've created a new gem style enemy. It is this guy down there. It is called Knight Onyx. It deals shadow damage. Gotta watch out. It fires in pretty much all directions, but it fires them at different points in its animation. As you can see, it's doing nothing now, but when it starts animating and the gemstones in it begin to flash, it starts to launch the shadow projectiles. And onyxes are now considered a standard item. Ooh, just missed him. I just love the photon orb effect. I keep using it on Rough Ruby, and Rough Ruby is completely immune, but I just can't resist. It's not like Twilight doesn't have other damage options at her disposal. If I want to get their weak point, I do have a Frostbolt spell. You know, I forgot to make Twilight's Dawnbolt spell so that it's super effective against the Knight Onyx enemies. I'm going to try to avoid the parity mode there. Good. Got it. Okay. Alright, now we get to see the Slam Citrine in action. I hope. Let's see. Okay. And when it slams, yes indeed, it will fire those earth bolts. And it'll shoot the fireball when it slams in the other direction. Yep, deals earth damage. So at some point I know I want to set things up so that if a player, for example, or a player character I should say, has like a sword slash attack and they upgrade that sword slash so that the sword also fires a beam. We're all thinking of Cloud Strife at this point, but I want to be able to do something like that. I know that in order to get this working for player characters, I'm going to need to have buffs, especially equipable item buffs, set up so that those can work with special animations. I've got a long ways to go, but by getting this done, I know I've taken another step towards that. So that's about it.